Taking Hold of God, Reformed and Puritan Perspectives on Prayer, edited by Joel Beeke and Brian Najapfour. Overview. In Taking Hold of God, you will enter the treasury of the Church of Jesus Christ and discover some of the most valuable gems on the subject of Christian prayer. The writings of the Reformers and Puritans shine with the glory of God in Christ, offering us much wisdom and insight today that can make our own prayer lives more informed, more extensive, more fervent, and more effectual. Six contemporary scholars explore the writings and prayer lives of several Reformers and Puritans, among them Martin Luther, John Calvin, William Perkins, Matthew Henry, and Jonathan Edwards, guiding us to growth in prayer and more grateful communion with God. Review. In my never-ending quest to become better at prayer, who else should I turn to but to the Reformers, the Puritans, and Joel Beeke? A book that is well-researched and structured with only a few hiccups. Taking many resources and boiling them down with one topic had to be an endeavor and shows why there are many co-authors here. With an encouraging and good gut-punching ending, this was a good overview on prayer. Covering Martin Luther, John Calvin, John Knox, William Perkins, Anthony Burgess, John Bunyan, Matthew Henry, Thomas Boston, Jonathan Edwards, and then a splattering of other Reformers and Puritans, each author takes his theologian and structures the writings on a particular topic. Where Luther, Calvin, and Knox get to introduce prayer and hit it from many angles, others get a different approach. Perkins has the Lord's Prayer, Burgess and Bunyan have prayers of the Son and the Spirit, Henry has the form of how to pray, Boston on the personalness of prayer, Edwards has prayer to the triune God, and the last two chapters cover how many theologians prayed for evangelism and a general call to seek out prayer. Book starts off really strong, with the first three theologians getting a lot of territory on the subject. Perkins' Lord's Prayer portion feels a little removed, and it doesn't quite get into the practical perspective for the reader, but there is a great read just on his thoughts and personal application can be had with the material if one were to do so on their own. Honestly, the weakest inclusion here is Edwards. While Edwards didn't write specifically on prayer, it's not as if he didn't talk about it. However, his inclusion here feels like they needed to include something by the Master Edwards. Not that it isn't informative, but it could have been left out. The last chapter really stands out as someone who appreciates a book on the application of theology to punch me in the gut and challenge me through ridicule, threat, and the benefit that is a good ow factor that I appreciated. The book is well cited as well, so further reading can be done and is good to introduce to who the big Reformers and Puritan names are. It didn't answer all my questions I wanted to answer, but it did a really good job of doing exactly what you want this book to do. Drive you to prayer, pray more, or get serious about prayer. Final grade, A-.